चलो सारे लोग से लाइक कर देंगे फटाफट लाइक करवा दो बेटा लाइक कर देंगे लगा दो फटाफट यार कल के पार्टी कर रहा है लाइक कर देंगे फटाफट लाइक करो यार सभी को बोला तो फटाफट लाइक करो लाइक कर देंगे
यहां #1 रहना एक जरूरत है। ये जंग जीतना हर एक टीम का सपना है और इस सपने को पाने के लिए ये अपना सब कुछ दांव पर लगाने को तैयार है। Pakistan is ready for the ultimate action.
Hello everyone, welcome to PubG Mobile Pakistan Pro League for 2022, week number 3 and day number 2. My name is Shadow and joining me is Lakshay. And Lakshay, how are you feeling right now?
Well, doing pretty good. Definitely looking forward to what this week has to offer from all these teams. But at the same time, of course, the expectations are a lot. But we'll have to see what the teams are going to be able to do in the battleground.
We'll certainly have to see because day number one was completely different. All the bottom teams of week one and week number two, they were suddenly performing out of the box and no money. First place will get $10,000, second will get $6,500, third will get $4,500. Even the 16th team is going to get $1,000 over there. So that means every single team is getting something out there. Even the MVP is going to get 1,000 US dollars for himself. But in the league stage, each team is going to get $2,500.
Absolutely. Now, of course, we know for a fact that these teams are working towards being a part of that grand finale where, of course, only 16 teams from these 20 will move forth. But for all of that to work out for them, they need to be able to, of course, get those points. And the way they can get those points, of course, you walk away with the chicken dinner, you already are going to be contributing towards the 15 points that are yours. Alongside that, what we know for a fact is elimination points. Every single elimination that you're able to get will award you with 1 point, and that becomes critical right now because we know when it comes to the Pakistani teams, they're all very aggressive, and that is where we've actually seen the teams walking out of the lobby at the 12th position, at 10th position, but the majority of the points that they accumulate is based on the elimination.
Even the same position team sometimes gets some points because they are getting defeat points. Freestyle did yesterday in the map of Senop. But talking about the bonus point, weekly bonus are going to be awarded each week for weekly ranking, and the league bonus points are going to be awarded for league state ranking. So there are chances of owning those bonus points, and how these points are there. The rank one is going to get 20 points, second position will get 19 points, third will get 18, fourth will get 17. These are the crucial points. They keep on reducing, and even the 20th spot team is going to get 1 point.
Absolutely. Now, talking about these bonus points, now this is where things do change a little bit when it comes down to the way things are being organized and in terms of how the format is being structured moving on forth from 2022 this season itself, where we of course are talking about bonus points which are all majorly focused towards that Livik map. Now, of course, we have seen in the past 2 weeks individual teams participate in that Livik map, but today, or rather this week, being the final one before we move into the grand finale itself, once again it becomes critical because the teams that participate in the Livik map and the points they are able to walk away with are the ones that will help them out in the grand finale where they start things off in week number 4.
Well, certainly, because Livik is the surprising X factor in the tournament right now, because every single team, they don't have a read on to each other. They have no information how the other team is going to perform. The map of Livik and the size of Livik 2x2 makes things very interesting. But talking of the groups, Group A, we have Fitness Esports. The consistent performance that is coming from their side is definitely very impressive. Then we have Team Star, Team Bablu, and 52 Esports. In Group B, we have Kuret Esports, TOF. Well, TOF, the split is not working for them, especially yesterday. It wasn't working in either of them. But H2E, TMW are also there. Group C, we have I8, Meteor Short Sky, R3D, Triple Esports. Group D, we have Quantum Reach, Grounders, Regicide, and 3X. But talking about the overall ranking, well, Kuret Esports, they are on the top with 56 points right now.
Absolutely. And along with that, we can see that when it comes down to a big push and jump being created from these teams, we have the possibility of course, freestyle perhaps by the end of the day, moving all the way up to the top. Because look at that, 12 position jump is what they were able to accumulate with that chicken dinner game. But at the same time, of course, there will be an equal opportunity provided to all the other teams as well, because the fight, it definitely carries on forth. And this being the first page itself, the more conversation will be faced as to what the teams are doing on the lower half of this leaderboard.
Certainly, and a name which everyone is surprised to see in the lower half is I8 Esports. They're sitting on the 18th spot. No one expected. Even Bablu, they're sitting on the 20th spot with only 13 points to themselves. This is something very surprising coming from both these teams. In fact, Quati Esports also, the way they made a jump after the one bad game, week number 1, they started improving, and right now Quati, they're sitting on the 16th spot with what, 19 points only?
Exactly. Now, this is something that nobody anticipated, of course, as you perfectly mentioned, Shadow, but at the same time, this is what week 3 is looking forward towards. At the same time, as you perfectly questioned, can there be a chance? Can there be a change that we can anticipate from these teams in this week 3? Can we definitely expect the teams that are not looking so good, being on the latter half of the leaderboard, to be able to jump up today? Well, again, fingers crossed definitely for the same. But yeah, it is going to be a tough competition for these teams as well, because we've got big names like I8, we've got Bablu right down there, and of course, as you perfectly mentioned, T20 Kochi sitting at that position with only 90 points. Not looking good for them right now, but hopefully today is going to be a special day. Hopefully things might change for them. We'll have to see.
Certainly, everyone who is a fan of I8 Esports, even a fan of Bablu, they are waiting for the team to do a comeback and come on the first page. Even Quantum Rage, I'm surprised to see them sitting on the 11th spot, because Quantum Rage was also pretty consistent in week number 2. But talking about 52 Esports, this team impressed everyone. When everyone lost the hopes, 52 Esports comes in and takes a big win in the second match or the third match, I think. It was the second, I think. They took a win, and Daku with 22 elimination, along with his teammates also having 22 elimination and 18 eliminations, and OP getting 19. Firo and Pain are also no less. 152 Esports, well, expectation bar is again rising.
Oh, definitely. With the 2 chicken dinner winner games that they were able to showcase, it was looking fantabulous from the side of 52 Esports, as well as the fans, I'm sure, are going to be elated as to what sort of an example the side of 52 Esports have been able to put up and showcase to the entirety of the lobby. But at the same point in time, again, this being a very critical day right now, because of course this is the final week before we jump into the grand final itself, for which of course we are keeping expectations high from all the other teams in the lobby as well. But at the same time, again, you talk about a rise, you talk about a comeback story, you talk about a team that from the starting has been trying to build up those numbers, and now finally, when it matters the most in week 3, they are proving their mettle, they're proving their worth, and that of course is 52 Esports.
Certainly, 52 gave all tooth and nail, and finally they are reaping the benefits. But the question isn't it too late? Because it's week number 3, the matches are very numbered, and coming in the top 6 or the top 12 is not going to be so easy for 52 Esports. But yet they are not giving up. This is the thing I appreciate about a team. Even though this is a lost cause, still they are fighting for the big win. And they are proving deserve to be here, and they are the champions. They need to be intimidated and feared, and that is why 52 Esports yesterday, phenomenal performance came from their side. But fingers crossed, I hope they keep up the same momentum in day number 2 also.
Absolutely, of course. Fingers crossed, like you so perfectly mentioned, of course. From the side of this team, definitely we want the performance to keep on improving. We want the momentum that they've already got going on for themselves to keep on increasing with that same exact force. At the same time, we want to be able to see a comeback story from the side of teams sitting on the latter half of that leaderboard, where, of course, we've got big names sitting out there. But can they do so today? Because after all, when it comes down to this, as you perfectly mentioned, is week number 3. Now, if those teams are not able to bring back their storyline for themselves, then it is going to be a very difficult conversion, because then after is going to be the grand finals.
But do you think I8 Esports, despite having bad performance, they won't be able to maintain the top spot? Yes, they have taken a bit downfall. They're sitting on the second spot in the overall ranking right now. But I don't think any team can throw them out of the top 5 position because of the performance they delivered in week number 1, getting more than 300 points. Do you think they are saving all the stats for the final?
It is definitely a possibility. It is definitely going to be a question that the other teams in the lobby are probably going to be thinking about, because again, you talk about consistency. You've got a couple of teams who've been so consistent throughout in terms of the way that they're performing, in terms of the way that they've been able to, stay in touch with everything that's going on based on week per week, day per day, and still keep a balanced approach in terms of the way that they approach those battleground games. Now, this is where I want to bring up teams like, for example, Magnus, right? Because, of course, for a fact that when it comes down to Magnus, this is a team that has always, pretty much, I will say, has been ready to deal with the amount of commotion that's been going on within the teams in the lobby, and when you talk about the 20 teams. But again, talking about the comparison in terms of how Magnus is keeping that up, we've got it clearly visible in front of us, where you talk about week 2, day 1 performance compared to, of course, yesterday, which was, of course, week 3, day number 1. It is a big jump from the way that they are, of course, getting those knocks, from the way that they've been able to deal the damage in the lobby itself, and that is the consistency which puts them on that second position in the overall ranking.
Certainly, Magnus has been consistent, pretty consistent. Week number 1 and week number 2. I think Magnus Esports is the only team that has been consistent. With a few of the teams, certainly have few bad games, few bad for themselves. I8 was dominating on week number 1, week number 2. They started fizzing out, and that is continuing in week number 3 as well. So Magnus, yes, they are consistent, but at the same time they are also revealing all the strats, plan A and B, whatever they can come up with. Everything has already been revealed. Do you think that's going to help your case in the finals?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because yes, you're absolutely background. Definitely, they've given out all.
यहाँ #1 रहना एक जरूरत है। ये जंग जीतना हर एक टीम का सपना है और इस सपने को पाने के लिए ये अपना सब कुछ दांव पर लगाने को तैयार है।
A long time, and I think there has to be someone who takes a little bit of a lead though. But we really hoped for having the highest predictions. If there was some extra consideration for us, I mean, I would be doing my number crunching, but it's just a hunch that maybe it could be back. But let's hope for the best, and let us know, you guys watching the stream, who do you think is going to be winning this first game of Erangel? Because it's going to be again really amazing, so many good teams fighting it out against each other. I want to see if there has been any changes in team's drop location. I think Team Star, even towards those latter stages of week 2, did manage to start stepping up, showed a little bit of consistency, but again, that spark kind of just fizzled out pretty soon.
Star, this team has worked on their rotation. I have to say, week number 1 they were having bad rotation, but week number 2, every single time Team Star managed to be in a good spot, at least in the final circle, in a good spot, having a good position. So Team Star is one of the team to watch out for because the rotations were on point. It's only the close, compact firepower that I want to see this time, because this is a potential team that can beat down I8 and Magnus and every other team in the lobby and get that winner chicken dinner, which they have done so. But the multiple. I want to see 3 winner chicken dinners from Team Star. Maybe.
All right. 3, not a hat trick.
It's hat trick. 3 a hat trick.
Okay.
3 wins. Back to back 3 wins.
All right. You're
Yeah.
talking about a hat trick. So you've always been a dreamer, Shadow, and somehow your dreams have come true. Of course, I mean, the Grounders, the team I least expected to get a chicken dinner, they did it in the bonus match. So anything is possible. I mean, we would love to see the teams really rising up their ranks, and we really hope the Grounders also get back to their old playing days, where they were one of those formidable mid-tier teams out here. Anything is possible. We're just waiting for the matches to start and begin, because I'm getting all riled up, because it's going to be so much more exciting from here onwards, because with the games, things have with the way the things have been progressing. Like I said, it is the final week. It is so many teams that we have gotten into the mix, and I really expect to see some sort of a miracle also being coming out, especially let's say TMW, or maybe Triple Esports, or maybe 52 Esports, because let's be honest, they were the defending champions, and they have definitely not been playing anything close to be even called champions right now, after that little bit of a roster change, and 2 players going to Magnus, and we can see how good Magnus have been. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have already set sail into our journey to find out who's the best team this particular week, and who are the top 16 teams with the flight path trajectory heading all the way towards Milta Power. And seems like there hasn't been any huge change in any sort of drop location, so I think these teams are gonna stick to their basics.
At this stage, they don't want to risk anything, because maybe some other team is also going for a drop location change, and having bad games, especially at the end stage of the final week, is not going to help them in the long run. Yes, the top teams can afford to have few bad games, but the bottom teams or the middle tier teams can't afford to have too many bad games. And the circle is also going to favor so many teams right now, as it is favoring the eastern side. Yasna is still out of the circle, but 52 can make their rotation pretty easily. But they are chasing up. Oh, they're not chasing. They have spotted a player.
Oh, this was a big fish. Oh.
They're letting him go.
Yeah. It is the arch nemesis. Team Magnus. I mean, had I been there, I wouldn't have bothered if I even died. I would have taken the risk, because again, we're talking about just 2 points difference. And that one elimination could have given them one more extra point. And but they're looking at the bigger picture, right? Because now they have to go outside the circle, get into military base, get their loot done, then again come back inside the circle. Where I really felt, if they could have honestly gone for the Gatka split, they would have done much, much better. Because, you've got that entire center of the map to yourselves. And yeah, well, I8, sticking to their old conventional ways. And we've always seen them, somehow they make it into circle, make it to good places. Uzum is in amazing IGL. But one of those complaints I've been having lately is how they've been engaging in fights. So I'm hoping that they fix that issue that has been haunting them throughout week number 2.
Maybe they have worked on it, and this was a sign that they have worked on it, because the previous I8 of week number 1 wouldn't have let the player of Magnus go so easily. They would have gone for that one defeat point, but this time they are taking things slow. They are rectifying their mistakes, and they are going towards a military base island. But talking about the team that delivered 3 good games in the week number 2, Meteor Shot Sky, let's see what this time they are going to do, because they are also very stubborn when it comes to their drop location. They are going towards the Noise side, but they need to be a bit careful, because some other team might try and gatekeep them, which we haven't seen often. No team is none of these teams are trying to gatekeep any of the team on the southern island, especially in these circles. You easily gate the players of I8.
Oh yeah, they certainly do, but nobody has even tried getting them, right? I mean, throughout the entire tournament, we haven't really seen a lot of bridge blocks or barricades being set up or anything at all. I mean, there were a few moments where I think we did see some battle brewing up between Meteor Shot Sky and Regicide, but I think that was pretty much it, Shadow, because honestly, I haven't really witnessed much fight towards that military bridge that we had always been open and clear. Even when Freestyle were playing, I thought really, that maybe we could get to see some fights, but everybody just went off their own ways. But for now, I mean, there's no action really at this point. H2E, Bablu, right beside each other, everybody getting their own loot done. And this has again been one of their silent pacts, right? You don't trespass into our territory. We'll not budge into yours. It's a huge city, kind of divided into halves. They kind of get their loot done, and they just get out from there. For TUF, however, this team, the way they performed in week number 1, the kind of aggression certainly showing has sort of died down, and that is something that really concerns me about this particular team, because it is again one of those teams with immense potential, but they haven't really lived up to all the hype that they created in week 1.
Well, certainly, it's 52, 3x, esports, all the teams that are in the bottom, they have not been even the top teams of the previous season that we have been saying. Week number 1, we were complaining so much from the top teams of spring season not performing this time, and week number 2 has already gone. Week number 3 is starting. Let's see if in the final week can they claim the throne again. If not the throne, can they deliver the same kind of a performance we expected from them? But right now, 3x esports, well, one of the player from this team has impressed me. That is going to be a miracle. The way he delivered performance in week number 1, he showed the signs that individually he's a very good performer. Oh,
all right. I like this. I mean, I love the bicycle. I do not know about you, but the kind of stealth that you get, and especially when you don't have to rely on anybody, you do not have to refuel it, it does not get damaged, does not get blown into smithereens, is something that I'm really hoping to see happen even more. But kind of takes a lot of space in your bag if you want to put it back inside. So yeah, the esports players haven't really been inclined towards the bicycles. But what about you? Do you use it?
As a kid, I used to use it. Now I'm scared. I'm too fat. I'm scared if I fall down, what is going to happen?
I mean, and of course, inside the game, where
inside the game, you are safe. Physically, you are safe. So yeah.
I mean, I love to use the bicycles to go out for those cheeky little flanks, but still has that little shh kind of sound. If your opponent does have good headphones, in this case, of course, all these pro athletes do have. They kind of figured it out. There's something around us. Could be a cycle, could be anything at all, just creeping up beside us, and in those late moment situations really helps getting you out of those tight situations. But again, they just decided to go against it, did not resort to it, which I completely respect, and for all the good reasons. If you do have a better automobile, why stick to the cycle? As Mary has been taken down, so Triple Esports are the first ones to get that knock, but really haven't converted into a finish as of now. But I like this sort of an aggression from their side. They're playing as if they've got nothing to lose, and the way they're kind of surrounding, it's basically like the shark just circling around its prey, waiting for that right opportunistic moment to strike, and of course, maybe he's gonna get that revive. But how do 3x retaliate back after this? Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful Car 9K shot coming in, and Kratos finally found a knock that is going to help the case of 3x in this case, because they have decided to retreat from this fight. They are going to pick up their fallen comrade, and this is the opportunity on which 3x can capitalize, as they are trying to shoot direction of Rex, but not sufficient damage has been dealt. But look at the position of Miracle. No, he's not going for the fight.
You know, he did have some nice spotting being done there. But, you know, a little bit of hesitancy being shown, and for all the good reasons. You know, the moment he just went on the, crevices over there, realized, oh, 3 players, back off. So, but Kratos, he's fearless, the god of war. Let's see what is he up to at this very moment. However, Tyrant has been taken down by Psycho. They need some trade-offs, but Kratos again being shot down from 2 different directions, as now 3x, they're losing ground. Miracle just trying to drive past by Thug, but isn't really successful. Does manage to get that knock though. Still has a little bit of space, but Miracle, I'm pretty sure he does not have any means to escape, as he's gonna get taken down. Thug, however, being finished off. But hold on, it is Team Magnus from the sidelines who did hear all those gunshots, and now they also want to join the party.
Both these teams overextended the fight. They became a little greedy. 3x has already been taken out, but they delivered damage towards the side of Triple Esports by taking down Thug, and now Magnus Esports is a team with which Triple Esports need to deal with. They have to bear the brunt, because right now, look at the position of Triple Esports. They're out there in the open. They're way too spread out. This is not the position they want to be in right now, especially when they have other teams also in the close proximity. On the side, they have TMW, but Fasta takes down Reeks also. That means Triple Esports is surviving with the last member.
Yeah, and I think it's not going to be long enough as Drolin draws the final blood over there, and with that, Triple Esports, they are eliminated from the game, and that's really concerning, you know, considering the fact that I could see that willingness from their side. You know, they were not shying away from fights. They engaged in it, then they backed off, and maybe had they not had one of their players getting knocked out, they would have never retreated, because it was always better to fight when you had cover. But R3D, they were like, you know, we have no business over here. We ain't gonna mess up with Magnus at this very point. And for now, still, you know, Destroy, he's gonna try his luck. Does manage to knock down Drolin though, but I think he's in safe covers. Enough for Faster to go in there and get the res back on him. And this is where I really, you know, wonder if R3D could get one more finish or maybe one more knock, maybe Magnus's days in this game could be numbered.
That is a possibility, but R3 Esports, they are not trying to leave their safe compound. They're still holding on to the water city, and around behind that ridges, getting the confirmation onto the plus of Magnus is a little difficult until they overexpose themselves, which they are not going to do so at all right now. And the fallen comrade has already been revived. Somewhere else, TUF is also trying to take down the players of Quresh Esports from the moving vehicle, and Jaguar has taken a hefty damage from the side of Joker Sir, but he's not going to survive for now. But TUF needs to find a better place. Teams are still in a better place. I'm sorry, that is Quresh Esports who is out there in the open. They need to find a safe compound for themselves, because in the close proximity they have grounders as well.
Oh, they certainly do. And you know, the way this circle has been shifting, we are still yet to find out. But look at Zen getting that beautiful knock secured on Faddy. Every single player of Team Magnus showing their A game in display as Drolin just closes in, inching. Maybe could just try and run them over, but going after Walker and gets that knock. Oh, the cojones on Drolin looks absolutely fearless. And R3D, did really bite more than what they could have chewed over here, and have to pay that hefty price, losing out on 2 of their players, and now they're on that hasty retreat as Team Magnus. Oh, they're right on their tails.
Well, the storyline that has been created over those bridges, two teams have already been eliminated, and Magnus and North 3D Esports. Let's see which team is going to lose out on the players or is going to be get elimination at this position, because they are locking horns with each other. But from the southern side is the peace, complete peace. On the southern side, we have I8 Esports, Grounders are there, Querish Esports are there. Under the tail of I8, we have the players of Team Querty as well.
Oh
No,
yeah.
that's Regicide. Sorry.
Yeah, indeed. Regicide just, entering the circle a little late, and Blade may have just snuffed him out. He knows there's someone around, but for now, I mean, the way circle has been forming, I8 still do have some concrete cover to themselves. But look at Team Boplu over here, deciding to get into covers. Nothing really concerning. This is the exact same spot that the players of 3x, if I'm not wrong, were holding on to. Now it's for Team Boplu to really take it on. And having these little, ditches to play around gives them that assurance that if they even get charged upon, they do have multiple angles to engage in from. But for now, TUF still, two of their players are right on Everest. They're kind of scouring the entire land, just getting good visuals over where teams could be and finding knocks here and there. This time, however, Reaper has been taken down. I'm starting to wonder if he could really finish him off, because that is going to be a tough task, because provided the distance, of course, has enough time to get into cover and get himself back on his feet.
See if he can get back onto his feet. But I just noticed one thing. Regicide is showing as a three-man army, and right now Nocto has been taken down, so their trouble has already been increased, because there's a two-man army. They have to go for the revival, and they have to deal with the brunt of 52 esports in the close proximity. But Team Bablu right now, they are gathering information from this spot onto so many teams that are trying to rotate, specifically on Magnus Esports. TMW is also there, so they can get the information onto their opponents. That is going to help them in the final circle, because right now they are not peppering any single bullet onto them. They are just collecting the information, and so is Ash from the side of Meteor Shot Sky. He went for the scouting, realized the compound has already been taken, and now he's going to regroup with his teammates and find a other better spot.
That's sort of always has been the go-to plan of how Meteor Shot Sky really engage themselves in fight. But we can see something happening around Magnus and Team Bablu, because really in close proximities could just lock horns against each other. But for now, Quantum Rage is still inside that little compound that they have to themselves. Again, Quantum Rage has been one of those teams, loves that third position to themselves, has been pretty much consistent throughout, week number 1, week number 2, in terms of how long they survive. Always get those position points for themselves no matter what. And with the way things are standing, this is going to decide a lot of things. And Qureshi Esports do have a really good spot. They've got few compounds to play around with around Gatka. But this is going to be interesting as to see how TUF makes their rotation and how H2E holds on to their grounds, because you've got a little bit of ditch where they are in, and this could really come out handy in their favor. But a little bit of an instant replay, fast reflexes coming in from Faster. Really, the way he just crouch toggled himself, and look at Rollin. I mean, this shows the signs and marks of a champion. The way Team Magnus have been playing, 5 eliminations already right from the start of the game, and the kind of a momentum that they have, I'm pretty sure they're not going to settle with just this much.
Well, Magnus are happy, definitely 5 defeat points, but 3x triple esports, they are going to regret their decision of picking up such an early fight. But Quantum Rage finally finds a confirmation onto the player of TUF, and Joker Sir's position has already been given away, and Goku with that grenade was trying to dish out some damage but failed to do so, but he received a retaliation fire, I believe from the side of R3D, because they are also in close proximity. So let's see how Joker Sir is going to survive, because he's all by himself.
All by himself. And this is where, Thor and Edgar have to make a really tough decision. But look at Team Bablu. One of their players is already down on his knees. 59-1-1. Just wanted to step out in the open, but instantly got traded over as Danny. He's been run over, getting knocked out. This is concerning for Team Bablu. 2 of their players already taken down, and they've got nowhere to run and hide. And the 52 esports really close to them. Aspero goes in, but no. Pan really manages to make sure that he does not walk out safely. as we're in a whole different fight altogether. I do not understand what's going on at this point as Team Bablu. They just survived with one of their players, the IGL himself, who has a lot of job to do at this given moment.
And Joker is already making his move. The question is, he's going to prioritize the race onto his teammates, or he's going to pick the final player of Team Bablu, who is trying to revive his teammates. But right now, Magnus Esports, they have spotted on the players of Meteor Shot Sky, taken down Healthy, trying to find a confirmation as well. Let's see if he can find so. But his teammates are also in the nearby vicinity. Smokes are already being drawn out. But the question is, are the smokes going to help right now? But on the other side, Zibian, who got a revival through a grenade, finds a knock onto the player of 52, but he himself gets traded off.
He certainly does. And for now, Teen Wolf getting taken down over there. That's concerning. Did manage to get that revive onto it, Zibian, but now Zibian has no other choice but to tuck his tails and run from there. 52 Esports, however, they're also survived by just one player, Joker. And I'm starting to wonder why he did not use that vehicle. Maybe he ran out of gas, but for now, Zibian, he's pretty much stuck over here. Oh, this is really bad. The fourth circle still will manage to, administer that first hit, but TMW, they're going after the players of Quantum Rage, already having managed to secure that knock on Sirius. They're looking for more.
They're looking for more, and right now they are surviving that Molotovs and the grenades coming in their direction. And Meteor Shot Squad, they are looking pretty aggressive. They have found a safe compound from the side of Meteor Shot Sky, but right now they have to deal with the players of Quantum Rage who are in a 2v2 split. Molotov, smokes, grenade, everything are being used from both the parties. Let's see which one is going to get an opening by taking down the player of opponent. And Goku needs to heal up really fast. He has spotted on one of the player, goes from the backline, takes down one player of Meteor Shot. Can he find the confirmation? Let's see.
Oh yeah, we certainly have to see what goes on as Quantum Rage fighting against life and death over here somehow. Still managing to get those beautiful knocks though. Goku and Senior, the two surviving members over here, just bobbing and weaving through, and somehow Meteor Shot Sky, they've been eliminated pretty early on, courtesy to even Team Magnus, but the fight is still not over. As TMW, they're lobbing all those grenades, and Goku has managed to get himself back to optimum HP. But at this point, M7 666 is trying to lob a few more grenades. However, the window panes have been smoked off. So those entry points are getting a little bit difficult, but still manages to get in through with that Molotov. Still not any sort of damage being done, as they just hide in the shroud of smoke, as this grenade could be pretty much damaged. Now concerning an alarming situation, as Triple Esports, they're getting the shot back from the players of Quraysh, and the kind of confidence that Quraysh have, look at that. They're right out in the open, they still don't care. They want to answer back. They want to suppress. As Sardaji is the one player who is stuck now, has managed to administer that first aid, wants to get inside the circle. And bolt action shots are being taken at his direction. Nothing really seems to connect.
Nothing is connecting, but right now freestyle. Talking about this team, Malik is usually one of the main assaulter that brings an opening, but right now R3 Anubis walks right in the arms of death. No, it was gravity onto the player of Team Freestyle over there. That means Anubis survived for now, but Team Freestyle need to help their teammate Fallen Comrade as soon as possible, because it's not just R3D, it's Koti also that has their eyes onto them. And Freestyle, they're out there in the open. They have a little bit of compound to work around with. On the southern side, it is the players of Team H2E who are also falling down through the hands of North Esports, and Maxi just survived that grenade.
We just did that, and needs to get himself back to good HP. Does again gets damaged as Assad in real close proximities. Does manage to get that smoke on that eastern side, so as to just block that fire coming in from Amer, and good presence of mind being displayed from his side. But this is where H2E need to make that tough decision. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a drastic shift in the circle as it goes completely towards that western side, somewhere around Picardo. And this is where teams like Bablu do have that upper advantage, as Assad still in an engagement course against the players of North Esports, as Maxi this time trying to be the aggressor, trying to lob that grenade, but sadly does not connect.
But look at the the position of the fourth player of North Esports. He can be that flanker or the ugly thorn for the players of H2E. And H2E realized this is not the position to pick up a fight with the players of North Esports. They are trying to prioritize the circle, and this could be a mistake because JD has been stuck with that vehicle and the tree, and he has to walk on the foot. And Maxi is relentlessly shooting in his direction. But H2E, for now, they have survived. Can't do the same thing for JD.
At least not for him. But at this point, North Esports, they have to get inside the circle, and that is exactly what they're kind of gonna try and do, because they're kind of following the tracks of Team H2E. Them also taking that southern split. JD taking quite some damage, but still not yet knocked out. Though this is where you kind of want to resort just single tapping on your weapon, not just waste your bullets away. But finding no success, North Esports, they decide to close in the gap, but Maxi does somehow, and he gets that knock. Wants to go for that finish though. Doesn't really connect. But the big question is, are the players of H2E gonna get the rest back up? Because Dread, he might also be taking quite some damage, and now look at that. Their escape route, the vehicle has been blown apart. Now this is the perfect time for the players of North Esports to try and charge in at the direction.
Well, certainly, I'm also thinking why that is not happening. Maybe they're trying to move inside the circle because they do realize two of the players of HPV are already trying to wait for them on the periphery, but somewhere else TOF dishing out hefty damage onto the players of the FD who are going for the rotation. Styler takes a hefty damage, surviving on a sliver of HP. He has to heal up really fast. Can he pick up with a fight with the players of TOF? Because R3D is also in the close proximity, and all these three teams are fighting against each other right in the epicenter of the circle.
Oh yeah, and this is gonna be really a lot more interesting to see where the circle really pans around. Virus, he's taken some damage, but he's good as of now. Holding on to that god building really gives him that extra bit of security. So difficult to push over. But now we're talking about TFD's turf, right? Now this is their place, and we have seen what they've done to Bablu. They did decimate him, and especially I think, if I'm not wrong, it was Tyler just completely clutching out the entire squad all by his lonesome. As now is the moment of truth where we find that next shift going a little bit further towards that western side. Now this is a game that 52 Esports and Team Bablu really have to capitalize, and we're the kind of position that 52 Esports they're holding on to. I really think they have a good chance if they play their cards right. They can get the chicken dinner.
Certainly, because they have the complete control of the southern side, and it's only H2E that they have to deal with. But on the other side, the teams that are trying to rotate from the side of Picardo, well, they better be careful, because leaving the city of Picardo is not going to be so easy. And Edgar, with that mini 14, he has his eyes set onto the player of PFD and takes him down the minute he peeks out, and the confirmation might not be coming anytime soon right now.
At least not for now. A sad boy, just crawling his way into covers, into safety. This is going to be such a tough revive, right? That is something that Edgar is aware of, because someone is going to try and close in the gap, and this is the perfect time for him to strike. Does manage to land a few blows though, but not enough, as Edgar can actually just try and blow the vehicle up, or maybe just flatten the tires out, as Halsey gets knocked out by the players of Triple Esports. As the trade comes in, as Ash MVP closing in on Rex. Rex does have that high ground advantage. Despite that, Ash comes out through, but it's the fourth circle. Can he make it inside the circle alive? That's a big question, and the answer is going to be no. As the other Ash, however, he's just going to pick up on the pieces that have been fallen. As fourth circle revive, it is possible, but that's a big gamble to take. It's really up to choice that if they want to trade it off. But we are witnessing another fight. Freestyle and T20 QWERTY are going up against each other. As Voltrux, he's managed to take down Mob2. Zerbaf also getting the better out of Voltrux, and they're going head to head against each other as the Titans collide. As there you go, Zerbaf trying to lob a grenade as Gravity comes in from the sidelines, and he's been spotted out, but Zerbaf taking some hefty amount of damage, and Gravity having no trouble whatsoever getting that confirmation as T20 QWERTY somehow survive, but have had a few casualties.
Yes, they have had few casualties, but the fallen players can be revived because they have a few seconds in their hands. But on the other side, the Magnus Esports, they are picking up the players of North Esports, not just 1-2 players of North Esports out there. So Magnus, they have earned good defeat points for themselves. But right now, TOF, they have spotted down the player, last player, in fact, of Triple Esports, Psycho also. And Psycho, I8 is showing on his doorstep. Can he do a 1v2 against the strongest team? He has managed to take down Uzm over there. Let's see if he can take down Ghost as well.
I mean, he's a one-man army at this point, and if he clutches it out, it's gonna be insane. And that is exactly what he does. And I8 again falling down to their miseries as Team Magnus, they decide to strike in. With Rollin just closing in on the gap against Team Bublu, already one of their players being knocked out. This is bad news as Zibyan taking that little bit of a hilly advantage for himself, gets that knock onto its Rollin just before getting traded off by Finisher's grenade. And they are exchanging blows and blows against each other as Bapan comes out of nowhere. And now just the lonesome player surviving. Finisher somehow manages to clutch it out for Team Magnus with all three of their players surviving. Oh, Faster, just the only player to get eliminated. But Team Bublu, they've been wiped out.
And the entire control of the side comes in the hands of North Esports. This could be the game, and a little bit of the airdrop is going to provide them a bit of the cover as well if things are working in their favor. But right now, TO, they have to revive their fallen comrade, that is Virus. As 52 Esports, they are still shooting in the direction, and from the back lines, even Magnus Esports can also chime in. So TOF is not looking very strong right now. The minute they give the revive to Virus, they have to prioritize the circle. But in the circle, the first player to make an entry is going to be 666 of TMW. He has survived enough.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was talking about, right? If we can get a position 5 or position 4 for his team, that's going to be huge. That's going to be troubling, really, because Star, they're headed at his direction. And he really needs to watch out. Needs to maintain that little bit of cover. But, Star, they're going to be smart. They want to first check if that compound is clear. If they spot any vehicle around, they exactly know what to expect. But for now, I mean, even T20 QWERTY, they've been wiped out from the servers as 52 Esports. They've had that blessing of the zone. They still do have their players alive. H2E also having really good time. Team Magnus just survived by 3 of the players, maybe? Or is it 2? It's just 2. And now Finisher also getting taken down. That is definitely not good news for them.
And Thor also gets taken down. That means TUF, they are falling down one after the another through the hands of Faulty Devils. Leon takes a hefty damage, but TMW, they have been eliminated somewhere else. And TUF, let's see what's gonna happen. Virus retaliates from the low ground and takes down one of the players. Sad boy out there, but H2E is also doing third party from the backlines.
Oh, they certainly are. And TUF, they have to get inside the circle, and that's going to be such an arduous task. Especially Joker on so low HP, and Assad especially spotting him out. It's going to be so difficult for him to try and get in. And again, you do have 52 Esports right by the edges. And this is where it gets so much more tougher for them. Strollin, the last player surviving for Team Magnus, has been spotted out by Firo. And 52 Esports finally maybe inching in close to get that chicken dinner. In this particular game, they have managed to get the top 6 finish for themselves. As I think the players of the final player, M7 of TMW, may have been finished off. As Rollin just solo man defending against the wrath of 52 Esports. Not yet pushing at their direction. But still, Rollin gets the better of Psycho at least. Something that I8 could not, but Pain eventually just ends his suffering. Sets him back on his way towards the lobby.
Well, certainly, and the circle takes us the concentric shift, and JD of H2A is still inside the circle, holding on to Wooden Shack, can stop the players of 52 Esports right in the track. Let's see if alone, as a single army, can he deal with the 4 plus of 52, but his grenades might help him out. Right now, he's lobbing some smokes to block the vision of 52, but he also do realize North Esports are also in the close proximity. Rest of the 3 plus of Team H2E needs to help JD in this situation and find a good spot for themselves inside the circle.
Oh, they certainly have to. I mean, this is going to be such an interesting one. Who gets the better out of the zone? Because H2E, they're trying to close in. Team Star, having spotted out the players of 52 Esports, already sitting at 4 finishes to their name. I mean, a beautiful start. I mean, eventually they kind of ended what they started, right? It is a full circle that did come around. I think M7 666 got eliminated by them. So the entire team just getting annihilated by Team Star eventually, as those 4 finishes clearly show or rather indicate as to how good Team Star have been, really consistent so far. Again, getting that top 4 finish. And again, along with that, H2E as well. Still having all 4 of their players. They certainly are looking so much more better. But 52 Esports now trying to close in. And now the next circle shift is going to determine who's got that upper edge in this fight.
But look at the players of H2E. 1v3 split coming in is not help. Oh, in fact, 2v2 split is not helping, as 2 of the players are already being taken down by North Esports, and rest of the 2 players are dealing with the players of 52 Esports. This in this situation, that split is not working for H2E, as North Esports got 2 defeat points extra for themselves. But right now, North Esports, they have their eyes onto the players of Team Star as well, who have to move inside the circle. But the question is how they are going to do so, because all the 3 players are keeping an eye on to the 2 players of Team Star with that vehicle. Maybe they can kind of cover towards that airdrop, but no, that is not going to happen, as God Fury has been taken down from the moving vehicle.
Oh, he certainly has been. Now, this is where it gets a whole lot more interesting. Now, Honk, the lonesome player, surviving for Team Star. What does he have? Can he surprise us? Does not seem likely, as he's getting hammered from a different direction. I believe it is the players of 52 Esports dishing in all that hurt, all that pain, eventually just to wipe them out from the lobby at the 4th position, as Team 52 Esports inching closer and closer to get that chicken dinner all to themselves. As JD, I mean H2E, they were looking really good up until Max's grenade just came in at Saad and Tarzan, and both of them were just wiped out. Now we know North Esports, they have a fair share of history in Miramar, one of their strongest maps. Is the question over here is, can they reign supreme, Shadow?
Or can 52 Esports take this one in their favor? Because 52, they need those points, and they have the numbers advantage. All the 4 players alive, they have the major real estate of the circle in their control. The 2v2 split they are having might work in their favor, and the grenade that came from the side of Piro took down Maxi, and Zameen might want to help his teammate, as Avenger OP is going for the rescue mission, but the Molotovs might ruin the game of North Esports.
Oh yeah, it's going to be so much more tougher. A little bit of, bridges to play around with, at least for the players of North Esports at this given moment. But this spread from 52 Esports is so amazing. All they've got to do is hold on to their horses, right? Everybody marking their corners. But Avenger trying to create that little bit of a flank angle. Maybe have spotted out 55911, and there you go. Maxi gets that knock, and suddenly 52 Esports, they might be falling apart. One of their players already knocked out, giving enough time for Avenger just to go in and get that finish. But Dread, having been not traded off over here, this is such an interesting situation. Firo also getting taken down. Avenger, he's on a prowl, and JD, he's got to make it inside the circle. He can ruin the party for the players of 52 Esports. Joker in pain, far away from the pack, and now the onus is on North Esports to lose this game.
Avenger OP gets taken down. Might still work for the players of 52 Esports, as Maxi is the last man standing. No, he has his teammate as well, but a little far away, and confirmation are already coming in, and Pain takes down Maxi over there. That means Zameen is the last man standing, because in this situation he can't go for the rescue, he can't revive his teammate, but the single grenade from his side can eliminate the entirety of 52 Esports. But JD comes from the backlines, takes North Esports down.
And somehow he's managed to make his team get into the top 2. But now this is where, we have to draw the line. JD, he's done enough, does not have anything to work around with. No first aids, no grenades, not even a single energy drink. And now he's got to face the wrath of 2 of the players of 52 Esports, or possibly 3. Because now the 3rd player has also, gotten inside the circle, can get that res back on. And 52 Esports could get that chicken dinner that they were so much longing for. And this week has all been about these teams from the bottom of the table to lift it up. And now I think 52 Esports, they have a clear idea of where JD is. It's all about just driving around with the vehicle and just maybe trampling him over.
Certainly, that is what Joker is trying to do. So JD's position has already been given away, and Pain is already closing the distance. And with that M416, he tried to dish out a lot of damage, but JD finally managed to take down Pain over there.
Oh, he certainly did. But Firo, look at him, does have that MG3. The moment It goes on a reload, and the best part is 52 Esports, they have the circle. So JD pretty much giving his life away to the zone, does not want to give that extra elimination point, as 52 Esports, they've managed to get a chicken dinner. 9 eliminations for this team as they slowly but surely creep their way and climb up the ladders, as from that bottom position, getting that 18th is not too bad right now.
Not at all bad. In fact, I didn't expect 52 esports to come out this way in this week. H2E also, the bottom teams are definitely stepping up, delivering good performance, getting the wins in their hands. And 52 esports, the 9 elimination points and 15 placement points are definitely going to help them in this week. Maybe they can go for the bonus match as well.
Oh, hopefully. I mean, it's really too early to, to step on the gun right now and call the shots if they can do that. Because, again, this was one of those games where they had that circle to themselves right from the very beginning. And all they did was just be patient, wait for that time, They had been coiled up, ready to strike. And once that moment came, they delivered. And this is sort of such a good, interesting week it's turning out to be. I mean, what an amazing start, Getting such teams, getting those chicken dinners. For themselves, sort of kind of Courage starting things off, and now it is 52 esports. And if 52 esports have a really, really good week number 3, maybe, Bhavna, chances are there we might get to see them in the finals.
The bottom team to step up and perform really good. The way Meteor Shot Sky did hat-trick coming in, but after that this fizzled out. But I want a team to start picking themselves up and keep up the same momentum the entire week.
I would like to do the same, but we're going to talk more about all these teams, but after this short little break.
Hello and welcome, of course, to this wonderful day. Of course, after all, finally, we are here in week number 3. Before we jump in with week 4, which is the grand final, of course, and of course, I'm going to be joining in with...
What happened? Why are you so gloomy? Did you have a bad weekend?
Dude. It's been a tough weekend. I wouldn't say bad. It's been a tough weekend. But
I mean,
I've been looking at all the games and honestly, the way it's changed from week 1 to week 2 to now week 3, everything has changed. How aggressive teams are, how beautiful teams are, fixers. It's all changing, and I'm loving that. I'm loving that for a fact.
Yeah, I mean, of course, especially, the final week, right? Week number 3 coming in, teams like Star, TMW, then we just had 52 esports getting that chicken dinner, step it up, and sort of makes me really excited for what this week has in store for us, because now, look at the big guns, IA, they're just getting demolished, just ripped apart. Courage did not have a good one this time around, and but it was North Esports, H2E again, second consistent map for them, and even the same goes for Team Star. But more than that, 52 esports, 24 points, and what a start! I mean, this has been the best start I think they've had across all the weeks that they've played, Flutter.
Indeed, actually, because the way they played from week 1, it was almost like you could question, are they on the right track? Are they doing fine? And then finally, it comes down to week 4, and here we are, and they are doing so perfect. And with that, of course, it's a huge thanks to, of course, Oppo for sponsoring and making all this happen. For which, of course, we do have to thank Oppo F21 Pro. For which, of course, we can see the moments that happened throughout the entirety of the game, throughout Miramar. Again, we're talking about team. I mean, I8. We're talking about Bablu. We're talking about other teams who apparently were so good, but now they aren't. They are genuinely, they're not doing that great. And so we have to bring that up as well, Fixes. That yes, they've been good in the now they're kind of slowing down.
I felt like, the old I8 that we kind of have been knowing, even Team Bubble, I mean, they've kind of been in the thick and thins. The way they've been engaging in fights and everything. I think they can still do better. But, this games today that we've been having so far has been all about the other teams, right? 52, H2E, North, then you've got Star, Magnus, one of those only teams that has been, somehow has managed to be consistent as ever.
True.
But TUF, boy oh boy, I mean, some really impressive damage numbers being put out there, and the Faulty Devils as well. I mean, they're taking down two of the, in fact, the entire squad of I8, and in fact it was Triple Esports who also chimed in. Two of the players, in fact, let's talk about that. It's no small feat, but they've managed to achieve that. But as we take a look at the overall rankings, now, courtesy to being really consistent, H2E and Team Star, two back-to-back good games, they lie on that first two spots. And 52 Esports, look at that jump right from that 11 places. They've propelled themselves right up towards that third position.
Exactly. When you talk about that jump, 11, that's a lot. That is definitely a lot. Now, again, Fixes, I'll ask you this very simply, that did we expect this?
I mean, I was sort of anticipating, right? There has to be... Pardon?
Did you accept this?
I mean, I kind of expected some team, but this way and these teams, definitely no. And I'm kind of loving it, right? We're all loving all these new teams really stepping it up, and I've been kind of enjoying myself to the very most. But this is something that is quite stark over here. This time, all those three matches that we did cast,
fight or early casualty or maybe anything at this stage, because they are heading towards the side of La Cobreria.
as Rafe, he gets knocked down and finished off. As Miracle, he's also getting taken down, and trades coming in from both the sides. As Tyrant could get spotted out, but right now he has some cover.
Well, certainly has little bit cover and has to work around that cover, but 3x Esports, they have lost one of the player, Miracle, and Miracle is one of the player from their side who has been showcasing a very good performance, but Trident finds a confirmation onto Rafe as well. TFD and 3x again locking horns with each other, and both sides are losing out on the plus. This is not something they were anticipating, and Tyrant, he just survived. He took a hefty damage from the side of Faulty Devils. Now he needs to heal up really fast, and Kratos can be the game changer. But Mary has his vehicle already ready, and 3x Epo, they are not going to repeat the same mistake of the first wrangle. This time they are trying, they will try and find an escape from the situation.
Oh yeah, they will certainly, for sure. As the Faulty Devils, sad boy, he's kind of knocked out. I mean, the question is if he's gonna get down so that Styler could get that revive onto it, same. But for 3x, oh, there you go, no trouble whatsoever. But 3x might make a move. We've been talking about this, and this is a fight for the King of the Hill situation, right? You would want to have that high altitude area all to yourself, so that you can spot out every team just rotating around, have their spots spinned out, so that you can plan what your next move is. And of course, considering it's kind of around the center of the circle, I mean, I really do not mind this.
Well, certainly, when you're in the center in a good position, you can afford to pick up a fight. But last time when 3x Esports picked up a fight, they were taken down pretty early. But this time, yes, they are in a better spot. They are in a better position. There are ridges and terrains to work around with as compared to Wrangle map. But Tyrant, he has a lot of information. He has his teammates who can back him up right now with his mini. He's waiting for Leon OP to peek his head. And the minute he's going to do so, Tyrant with that mini is going to make sure that he lands the perfect headshot. But from the back lines, saw the players of Quality as well lingering nearby. Gravity is there, so that means a third party situation can happen at this point, and the zone is going to close in a matter of 4 seconds.
Oh yeah, the game certainly will close in. But the Faulty Devils right at the center of the circle as T20 QWERTY. I mean, still just holding on as Bablu kind of rotating in from that southwestern side. Maybe would take that western highway. I would not really be surprised. But they'll have to take or rather engage in a few of those fights. Taking a look at the map feed, we can see that eastern cluster kind of being piled up. Team Magnus also trying to get inside the circle, but Freestyle also have really good position to contend. And I was expecting to see a lot out of Freestyle, but haven't really gotten the opportunity for that. As now, Sad Boy still just hiding. That slight little corner of a rock. 3x seem to have just, let him be. They don't have any monkey business around him. He can live for all he wants. Maybe they would want to take him down eventually later on, because now it's all about focusing on the objectives. But no, Tyrant, as he was trying to retreat, it is Leon from the backlines taking shots. The fight is again resumed from where we left off.
Certainly, fight is prolonging for a long time, and the way the circles are shifting, they need to find a good as well. But maybe things will work in their favor. But looking at the track record of Miramar of 3x Esports, week number 2 was still in their favor, not so heavily. Week number 1, they were not able to get so many points in this map. So I can't say this is one of their strongest maps. But certainly, right now, they are a little stubborn on picking this fight, and so are the players of 40 Devils as well. But Magnus Esports, they are making their rotation inside the circle. This time, Magnus is taking things a little slow because they are going for the late rotation. North Esports again heading the same path from the southern side. So I think Magnus, North Esports are also looking pretty good, but Magnus Esports, yes, Miramar certainly, in fact, every single map is their forte, because Magnus has been dominating the lobby in every single game.
Oh, they certainly have been. I mean, every single game, at least they've managed to rack up quite some hefty amount of finishes, even despite the fact that they get eliminated, let's say around those mid games or towards those late mid games. They still somehow managed to get 8-9 finishes. And last time I think around 4 or 5, but whatever, they get a lot of finishes. That is one thing that we can be certain about. And SLR, after a long while, we do see someone, building my favorite DMR. Well, apart from the MK14, I mean, one that's available on the land on the normal loots right now for Kratos. All we can see him does have that high ground advantage, as Team 40 Devils decided to take a different recourse this time, heading back to concrete covers, have some compounds to themselves, despite the fact that the circle has not rotated the way they would have wanted. But as things go, let's see what these lads are up to. As T20 QWERTY, well, kind of a silence has taken over, a little bit of a spread. Gravity, look at his position. And this lad especially has been doing so much. Voltrox in the meanwhile spraying down all those lead at 5911, but he is too far at this given moment, and this is the shift that we're talking about. And look at that migration that will be incoming from that southern and the southwestern side. So many teams just trying to rotate in quickly, and R3D, they want to make some quick work of it, and the same goes for Meteor Shot Sky as well. But as of Magnus and North Esports, and even for I8, it's going to be such a tough task getting inside the zone.
And for my prediction also, Team Bablu, who are trying to move inside the circle from the side of Power Grid, Regicide, 52 Esports, 3x. So many teams are present that can stop them in their tracks. But yes, Team Star, they are in a very good spot. But Khan, I'm worried about him. He's so far away from his teammates who might be engaging in a multiple fights, and they are right now doing so. They are engaging with the plus of Regicide, who are going for the rotation. On the other side, Regicide Noki, I'm sorry, has been taken down because of a vehicle explosion. Let's see if his teammate is nearby to go for the revival or a raise onto him, because 52 is also in the close proximity. On the other side, Faulty Devils, North Esports, now they are locking horns with each other, and North Esports definitely losing out onto their players.
Oh yeah. And at this point, Sue getting knocked out. Now this is where T20 QWERTY have to make those hard decisions if they want to really engage in this fight. But seems like Khan is all by his lonesome. He's kind of stuck. And at this point, what does he do to have himself out of the situation? Look at Sensi2's position. I mean, if we can spot out Khan, get a little bit ahead, maybe, then that could change it all. But for now, I mean, Khan's barrel is definitely going to be visible if Sensi2 comes a little bit more closer. But at this point, QWERTY would be anticipating, or rather hoping, that the grounders get shot from the backlines. And if that happens, that is going to be really impactful for this game, as Gravity, deciding to try and rotate inside the circle, has taken some hefty amount of damage with his buggy, but still somehow manages to survive, make it into safety. But Team T20 QWERTY, they really need to unite at this point. They really need to group up, because if they do not, one by one, they might get isolated, and the twigs might be broken for their squad, and nothing shall remain, as Magnus have Faster knocked out. Such a tough entry inside the circle, and this is what we were talking about. Now they have to deal with the brunt of it.
Certainly, Finisher is trying to go a little north, and in the north we have the players of Triple Esports as well, like you mentioned. But right now, Reggie's side, yes, they tried to dish out a lot of damage onto the players of QWERTY over there, but Khan, all he had to do was buy some time, because his teammates was trying to regroup with him, provide him the necessary backup that he needed against the side of Team Grounders over there. But what they didn't realize is the placement or the position of Regicide also in this very same compound. But somewhere else, Freestyle Zarbaf with that Impo 16 is trying to dish out a lot of damage onto the moving players of Team Magnus, and they have received a lot of damage. I don't know how Magnus is going to come out from this situation, because in the northern side we have Triple Esports also, and we have the plus of Meteor Shot Sky as well. So they are kind of stuck. They have to bite this bullet, they have to pick this fight, but Faster is trying to save his vehicle, as Zarbaf was trying to blow up some or flatten some tires.
I think he certainly could have. At least that is what his intentions were. But for now, I mean, the shift kind of completely favoring the lads of R3D. They've got such a prime position, and maybe now it is their game to lose. They've got all 4 of their players alive. And T20 QWERTY, such a tough time to get inside the circle, as Regicide spotting out the grounders. Mr. Black just surviving with a sliver of HP, as Voltrux, he's been spotted out, and Baz this time does not miss this one, as he manages to take down Voltrux. And Gravity, let's see, what is he up to, as the vehicle has been bursted out. Regicide making good work out of the players of Team QWERTY. But this is where the trouble still arises for teams like Poplu, 3x, I8, even for the likes of Freestyle and Magnus this time. Still trying to get inside the zone, but the big question is, can they? With the amount of time remaining, because slowly but surely the circle is going to close in, and they need to find some safe cover. And the only entry point I can see is from that northwestern side. But that comes down to the point that if someone really anticipates us, if someone is going to be taking those risks, those big maneuvers, as Magnus have already Zen finished off, courtesy to Thug. As finisher, he needs to heal himself up, but before that happens, a grenade not being thrown in the manner that Thug wanted will miss the second one. Nervy butterfingers and finisher. Oh, this is hilarious.
Not hilarious for Magnus, definitely, because they are losing out on their players. They have already lost 2 players, and now, right now, Faster, he has spotted down one of the players, Psycho, who has a little bit cover of the ridge, not helping the case of Faster, because Faster needs to knock out Psycho as soon as possible if they want to survive and if they want to move further away in the circle. but in the close proximity, they have the plus of Team Star as well, and Freestyle are also coming from the back line, and compound they are holding on to. But somewhere Quantum Rage are picking the plus of 3x Esports one after another, and 3x Esports becomes the first team to be eliminated in the map of Miramar, the second Miramar of the day, and somewhere else finisher of Magnus Esports has also been taken down, but they were in the compound, so that means easy rescue mission might be coming in anytime soon. But Sultana having spotted on Zerbaf, let's see if we can take him down.
Well, let's see. It's going to be an interesting one. Osama knocking out Zerbaf at this freestyle. Such tough entries inside the zone. And this is where the Faulty Devils also have to make their way in, as I8, they're being finished off outside the circle. And Regicide, they are being the Grim Reapers, not even letting them enter inside the zone. We have been talking so much about how many of these teams are playing around the center of the zone and how much it is favoring them. R3D still clear of any threats really bothering them. Look at their position right at the heart, as again the circle playing its tricks, taking it a shift all the way up north. And now this is going to be an absolute bloodbath as Team Star keep on pincering the players of Team Freestyle till the point they have eliminated them out of the server.
Certainly they want to eliminate them, and Goku with that UMP45 finds a knock onto Leon OP over there, and Styler also hits the ground. Sad Boy is the last man standing, and the Smokes is helping him out for now, but the minute Smokes are going to disappear, he's being exposed not just to one player of 4 plus of Quantum Rage, and Tanatan finally eliminates him, and PFD has been eliminated at 14th position. Quantum Rage looking very good, 7 defeat points already in their favor, but right now the circle has taken a northern shift. That means Meteor Shot Sky 52 and R3D, they are reaping the benefits of the circle.
Oh, they certainly are. And you know, Quantum Rage at this point, you know, are outside the blue, as Usama does take down Sirius in the process. Will finish him off as Tantanatan also getting wiped down.
यार प्लीज लाइक कर दो यार, आप लोग लाइक ही नहीं करते। लाइक सब्सक्राइब करो यार, दोनों जल्दी लाइक और सब्सक्राइब कर दो यार, कर दो। कब से बोल रहा हूँ आपको यार, आप
think they have any choice at this point. So me getting spotted out, but just Grace turns and gets that beautiful knock onto it. Goku as God Fury lobs that grenade at finisher or Foster's direction. Nothing really connects, but resorts to his weapon at this moment. Tries to spray around as finisher gets taken down from elsewhere. His vehicle just exploding up as I8 have the lonesome player Blade surviving. I do not know how he's made it, but I want to see.
देखता हूँ कितने लाइक आते हैं।
How far can he make it from around here as Sultana gets knocked down? Courtesy to players of Triple Esports, even Hunter getting himself into the mix as Blade trying to dish out some damage, but to no avail as Khan will wipe him off, and with that I8 again getting eliminated at the 10th position.
And Grounders, right? Their position is also good, I'll say, because they are somewhere in the center position. 3D are trying to contest that very spot because they are already shooting in the direction of Grounders. But Khan, from the side of Qwerty, the lone survivor and the lone survivor Hunter of Triple Esports has been eliminated by the plus of Magnus. Faster puts a final bullet, and Triple Esports bids bye-bye at 8th position. And they are also struggling as Usma is taking a hefty damage, and Sultana has already been taken out, and Star has been eliminated at 6th position, 7th position, I'm sorry, and now 3D is destroyed. He's destroying so many players out there.
Oh, he certainly is. And now, you know, R3D having that southern circle, or the southern part of the circle all to themselves, as for now, the Grounders. Well, let's see what they're up to. 52 Esports at this point still intact, still alive, but they need to enter inside the zone. Now, this is where it all gets really interesting. The Grounders are in a whole world of trouble. They've somehow managed to keep themselves from the harm's way in the previous moments of the game. There was the point they were really close to QWERTY, but decided against taking that fight. But this is one of those fights that they have to engage in, at least try and stop the entry of 52 Esports. It's going to be so much more difficult with Meteor Shot Sky and even Team Magnus trying to force their way in. And it really comes into proving their mettle of what they're really made of, as Siu gets a beautiful knock onto it. Joker, 2 players of 52 Esports having been taken down. 5911 not taking any damage. Just keep barraging them with all the bullets that they have in their magazine. Still nothing really connecting. Maybe would want to blow up the buggy, but no. Beautiful retaliation fire coming in by 5911, ensuring that no, could he get another one? A little too greedy and has to pay the price.
Walker finally takes him down and pay in this time with that Bucky. He's already trying to close in the distance, but Grounders Mr. Black takes him down, and he has enough time to revive his fallen comrade, that is going to be Siu. And Sensi, he's keeping a close eye onto the plus of 52, but that also means Magnus faster. He can be the game changer because he ruined the game of a Meteor Shot Sky. He's the only player surviving and still taking off the fights. Walker finds a knock. Beautiful knock, not just on 1, 2 players of Grounders. Mr. Black, the only survivor, takes down 5911 for 52 Esports. Joker surviving on a sliver of HP, 1 grenade or a Molotov, enough to take the player down. And let's see what's gonna happen as Black, he has no hard cover for himself. Walker, he has to he come out in the open.
Oh yeah, he certainly has. And 52 Esports at this point. Joker, oh! Just having that sliver of HP. And he's gonna get taken down as finally, like we discussed, it was R3D's game to lose. And well, they do not want to let that happen, right? In short, again, it's the same old story, Shadow. Maintain the center of the circle, just wait till your time comes. And that is what they did. But the Grounders, on the other hand, they did put up some remarkable rotations, really fought tooth and nail for it, and now they're ever in so close. Mr. Black, the lonesome player, just the one surviving, as R3D now closing in on the gap and the distance, as they have no intentions in letting the Grounders come in close or get inside the circle in this moment. As now another Molotov being flung over at Anubis's direction, as Hawk and Anubis, we've got to see what can they do. And now Mr. Black, well, Anubis charging in at Mr. Black's direction. Let's see, Mr. Black, what can he do? Gets blown up. And that marks the end of this game, ladies and gentlemen, as Team R3D get an amazing chicken dinner with 9 eliminations to their name.
Well, certainly 9 elims and 15 placement points in their favor. That means in the overall rank, they are placed at the 12th position. R3D Esports again having a very good outing, good rotation from their side. The IGL is doing his job perfectly, because every single time R3D, especially in Miramar, because I remember week 2 also R3D was one of the team who had good outings in the map of Miramar, and because of the rotations.
Yeah, I mean, R3D, again, this time, it was such a clean one, right? That early movement to try and take over those hills at that point was such a brilliant idea. And that paid off so very well. And, as a result of which, this is the point where we come down to the fact that, all these teams, they need to understand, week number 3, try and take and hold the center of the circle, because now, teams trying to rotate in from the edges, if they're trying to do that, so many teams are trying to do the same thing, and as a result of which they're facing a lot of casualties. So maybe a little bit of adjustments, little bit of adaptations is really required in order to secure that golden chicken to your name. And today has been a day, like we said, about all these teams under the just beyond that top 10 performing so very well. The Grounders coming up, R3D getting a chicken dinner, Kuresh, well, they've been consistent. But, Team Star, as a matter of fact, they've also been playing so